My name is Clara. This is my story. I am not proud of it, but it is who I became. I was born in a small town. My parents had nothing. My father drank every night, and my mother worked herself to death. I grew up seeing hunger every day. I grew up seeing pain. I grew up knowing that life was not fair. When I was 15, I left school. I left because there was no money for books, no money for uniforms. My parents told me I was now old enough to work. They told me I should help feed the family. I hated them for it, but I had no choice. I began to sell food on the roadside. I watched cars go by, shining and bright. I wished for that life. I wished for a life where I could eat until I was full. One day, a man stopped his car and bought food from me. His name was Victor. He was smooth. He was rich. He told me I was beautiful. No one had called me that before. He gave me money for free. He came the next day, then the next. He started picking me up. He told me he could give me a better life. And I believed him. I was still a child, but he took me into his bed. He made me feel special, even though I knew deep down I was just another girl to him. I got pregnant at 16. I was scared. I told him, thinking he would be happy, but he laughed. He said he didn't need a baby. He told me to get rid of it. I cried, but he left me. I carried the baby anyway. My mother cursed me every day. My father said I was a disgrace. The neighbors laughed at me. When I finally gave birth, I was alone. My mother didn't even come near me. The baby cried, and I held him close. But then I looked at him and felt nothing, only emptiness, only hunger. A woman came to me in the hospital. She was older, maybe 40. She wore gold earrings and red lipstick. She asked me if I wanted to make quick money. I didn't understand. She pointed at my baby and said, "Some women cannot have children. They will pay you good money for yours." I stared at her in shock. She continued, "You are young. You can have more babies. Why suffer with one now when you can eat and live well?" I should have screamed. I should have refused, but I was tired. I was hungry. I was angry at my life. I said yes. She gave me a bundle of cash. She took my baby. I watched her live with him. He cried once, then the sound faded. I told myself it didn't matter. I told myself it was for the best. That night, I counted the money. I ate until I was full for the first time in years. And that was how it began. The woman's name was Madame Rose. She became my boss. She told me I had a gift, a womb that worked. She told me that if I wanted money, all I had to do was keep giving birth. She promised me food, shelter, and more money than I could ever dream of. I listened. I agreed. Madame Rose moved me into a flat in the city. She brought men to me. I was used like an object. They came, one after the other. Some were old, some were young, some were married. I stopped caring. Each time I got pregnant, each time I gave birth, each time the baby was taken from me. At first, I cried, but Madame Rose would slap me and remind me of the money. She said, "Babies are products. Do not cry over products." Slowly, her words sank into me. Slowly, my heart became stone. The first baby was sold for 400,000 naira, the next for 600,000. The prices went up. Twins brought more. Girls were wanted more than boys. I started seeing babies not as children, but as bags of cash. I hated myself, but I could not stop. The money kept me alive. The money gave me clothes, food, and a phone. The money gave me power over my parents, who now begged me for help. They never knew how I got it. Years passed. I lost count of how many children I had. 7, 10, maybe more. Each one taken from me the moment I pushed them into the world. Each one gone before I even held them long enough to smell their skin. I should have felt pain, but I was numb. One day, Madam Rose told me to prepare for something bigger. A foreign couple was coming. They wanted 2 babies at once. She told me if I delivered well, I would be paid millions. I obeyed. I ate what she gave me. I stayed locked inside. I carried the pregnancy heavy inside me. I prayed for it to be over quickly. When the day came, I screamed through labor. 2 boys, twins, LD, crying. I felt a strange pull in my heart. For the first time, I wanted to hold them longer. For the first time, I wanted to say no. But Madam Rose stormed in. She grabbed them. She pushed a bag of money into my hands. She said, "Job well done." And then she was gone. I sat there, bleeding, broken, holding money I could not even count. I stayed at the door, wishing my babies would return. They never did. People say wickedness eats the soul. They are right. I became worse. I no longer needed Madam Rose to bring men. I found them myself. I lured men. I slept with men. And I made sure I got pregnant. Each time, I already knew the babies were not mine to keep. I started dealing with buyers directly. Rich couples, barren women, even strangers. They came to me like customers in a market. I would smile at them, even when my body ached from labor. I would hand over babies like I was handling over bread. They paid me. I smiled. I forgot. I moved on to the next. But deep down, a darkness was building. One night, I dreamt of all the babies I had sold. They stood around me in a circle. They did not speak. Their eyes were empty. They only stared. I woke up screaming. Sweat drenched me. My body shook. I tried to shake it off, but the dreams returned again and again. The babies haunted me. By then, I was no longer young. My body was weak. Too many births, too many tears. My womb was tired. Doctors warned me to stop. They told me another pregnancy could kill me. But I didn't stop. I couldn't. Morning had become my God. I got pregnant again. This time, things went wrong. I bled too much. I screamed for help. The buyers waited outside, angry because they wanted the baby. Madam Rose shouted at me to push. I pushed. The baby came. A girl. She cried once, then silence. She was dead. Madam Rose slapped me. She said, "You ruined it. Do you know how much money we lost?" She left me bleeding on the floor. I thought I would die that night. I wish I did. But I didn't die. I lived. And I kept living with the shame. Now, I sit here writing this. I don't know how many children I sold. I don't know where they are. Maybe some are alive. Maybe some are dead. Maybe they were used for things worse than I can imagine. All I know is that I am empty. My body is ruined. My soul is black. My name is Clara, and this is my story. I gave birth. I sold the baby instantly, and I cannot take it back.